صلوات على محمد و آل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته. If I can have everyone's attention, please. We need to get started. It's almost 8 o'clock. اولتر از همه تولد امام اعظم امام حسن عسکری علیه السلام خدمت همه شما عزیزان و سرواران پیروان اهل بیت تبریک و تهنیت عرض میکنیم. میریم و برنامه امشب مسجد الرسول با تلاوت سوره اول سوره فاتحه و بعد از او هم سوره بقره تا آیه 7 که توسط برادر ما محترم سید رسول نقوی تلاوت خواهد شد شروع میکنیم. ترجمه فارسی انشالله توسط محترم آقای ملکوتی. And the English translation will be recited by brother Jamal Amili انشالله. در بخش دوم برنامه امشب از طرف برادرها و خواهرها کسی مطلب تهیه نکردن. اگر کسی هست که مطلب داره با ما بگن که برایشان وقت بگذاریم و از مطلبشان استفاده بکنیم. و الا در بخش دوم از او ویدیویی که ما هفته گذشته نتونستیم ببینیم با او براون بگ لنچ که بود برای homeless people that they did a short video for that, so we'll watch that on the second session. And on the third session we will listen to Ajaga Modarres' speech inshallah. از برادر سید رسول نقوی خواهش میکنیم که تشریف بیاره و آیه سوره فاتحه و سوره بقره تا آیه 7 تلاوت بکنن. سر سلامتی خودشان و فامیل محترمشان صلوات محمد پسند ختم بفرمایید عزیزان. اللهم صل علی محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم صدق الله العلي العظيم. الخاتم أنبياء محمد صلوات.
پناه میبرم به خدا از شر شیطان رانده شده. به نام خداوند بخشایشگر مهربان. ستایش مخصوص خداوندی است که پروردگار جهانیان است. خداوندی که بخشنده و بخشایشگر است و رحمت عام و خاصش همگان را فرا گرفته. خداوندی که مالک روز جزاست. پروردگارا، تنها تو را می پرستیم و تنها از تو یاری می جوییم. ما را به راه راست هدایت کن، راه کسانی که آنان را مشمول نعمت خود ساختی، نه کسانی که بر آنان غضب کردی و نه گمراهان. به نام خداوند بخشنده مهربان. الف لام میم. آن کتابی با عظمت است که شک در آن راه ندارد و مایه هدایت پرهیزکاران است. پرهیزکاران کسانی هستند که به غیب، آنچه از حس پوشیده و پنهان است، ایمان می‌آورند و نماز را برپا می‌دارند و از تمام نعمت‌ها و مواهبی که به آنان روزی داده ایم انفاق می‌کنند. و آنان که به آنچه بر تو نازل شده و آنچه پیش از تو بر پیامبران پیشین نازل گردیده ایمان می‌آورند و به رستاخیز یقین دارند. آنان بر طریق هدایت پروردگارشانند و آنان رستگارانند. کسانی که کافر شدند برای آنان تفاوت نمی‌کند که آنان را از عذاب الهی بترسانی یا نترسانی، ایمان نخواهند آورد. خدا بر دلها و گوشهای آنان مهر نهاده و چشمهایشان پرده‌ای افکنده شده و عذابی بزرگی در انتظار آنهاست. درست گفت خداوند بلند مرتبه. صلوات.
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, most merciful. All praises belong to Allah, Lord of all the worlds, the all beneficent, the all merciful, Master of the day of retribution. You alone do we worship, and to you alone do we turn for help. Guide us on the straight path, the path of those whom you have blessed, such as have not incurred your wrath, nor as we astray. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, most merciful. Alif Lam Mim. This is the book, and there is no doubt in it, a guidance to the God-worthy who believe in the unseen, maintain the prayer, and spend out of what we have provided for them, and who believe in what has been down to you, and what was sent down before you, and are certain of the hereafter. Those follow their Lord's guidance, and it is they who are the fallacious. As for the faithless, it is the same to them whether you warn them or do not warn them. They will not have faith. Allah has set a seal on their hearts and their hearing, and there is a blindfold on their sight, and there is great punishment for them. Sadaqallahu al-Aliyyul Azim.
خب با تشکر و سپاس فراوان از محترم آقای نقوی، آقای ملکوتی و جمال عاملی، میرسیم به بخش دوم برنامه امشب. در بخش دوم از طرف برادرها از محترم آقای معلم همکار خواهش میکنیم که تشریف بیارن و مطلب را که تهیه کردن را به سمع شما برسانن. In the meanwhile, hopefully we will find the video and the video will be ready. So after Ajay Muallim Hamkar, we will watch the video that they put together for the brown bag lunch for last Thanksgiving that we had in Masjid. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
بر محمد و اهل بیت محمد صلوات. ولادت با سعادت 11 اختر تابان امامت، جوانترین ائمه معصومین بعد از جدش امام جواد، به تمام دوستان تهنیت و تبریک عرض میکنم و از خداوند متعال خواهانیم تا ما را انقدر مهلت بده تا سال آینده این چنین شبی را تجلیل نماییم. ماهی که مهر فلک پرتویز و رخسارش، تمام جن و ملک محرومات دیدارش، شهی که بردد رخسار اگر براندازد، هزار یوسف مصری شود خریدارش. به طور قرب الهی قدم چو بگذارد، کلیم باید بیضا شود اسادارش. بر محمد و آل بیت محمد صلوات. دوباره گلشن ختم رسولان گل برآورده گلی از گلشن طه ز نسل حیدر آورده ز افلاک جلالت کوكب رخشنده عزت جهان آفرینش را زیمنش زیور آورده برای دیدن رخسار آن شمس جهان آرا هزاران حوری و غلمان ز غرفه سر برآورده لباس نو ببر سرو و چنار و نسترن کرده سبا مشات برگی سوی نیلوفر آورده ز جنت سندس و استبرق و گلهای طاووسی ملک از بحر آن میره عدالت پرور آورده ستاره میزند چشمک به ماه آسمان یعنی نظر کن بر زمین بنگر چو شمس انور آورده ز پشت ابر خوش سر می کشد مهتاب دزدانه به خود گوید خدا از نو مگر پیغمبر آورده به بام عرش جبریلی امین تکبیر می گوید که داو حجت بر حق خلایق رهبر آورده زبار اسمت و عفت خدای قادر منان برای هادی دین پیامبر گوهر آورده چه گوهر گوهری یکتا که از بحر وجودی او تمام خلق عالم را خدای اکبر آورده شده از بدن حدیثت گنج تقوا عسگری ظاهر که از بحرش خدا خیل ملک را عسکر آورده شهنشاهی قدم بنهاد در عالم که از نورش خدا حور و جنان و سلسبیل و کوثر آورده بشان جدش انا آتیناک الکوثر با قرآن محمد کردگار اکبر آورده نبی صورت علی سیرت حسن ستبت حسین شوکت ز نسل دختر طه با عالم سرور آورده چو زین العابدین عابد چو باقر کز علوم خود چراغ رهنما از بارکیش جعفر آورده جواد آسا که از جودش جهانی بهرور باشد امام دهمین اکنون به عالم مظهر آورده علی ابن محمد زنکو فرزند دل بندش دو چشم دوستان خیش را روشن‌تر آورده. حسن خویی، حسن مویی، حسن نامی، حسن رویی، برای یاری قرآن و اطرت یاور آورده. سلاز بار اشعارت ز دارو خانه رحمت، دوای کربلایی کردگار اکبر آورده. بارا گو پیامبر که علی جان من است، هم به جان علی و اسم محمد صلوات.
خب با تشکر و سپاس فراوان از محترم حاج آقای معلم همکار، واقعا همه لذت بردیم. همونطور که عزیزان مشاهده میکنین a couple of our members have provided a couple of cake for tonight's occasion. از محترم حاج آقای مدرس خواهش میکنیم که تشریف بیارن و کیک کت بکنن طبق معمول. صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's first recite a salawat for the sponsors of the cake. Let's recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Let's inshallah on the right side, I go with the mother of Imam Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam, which again when it comes to the birth of Imam Askari alayhi salam, it's also important to remember the mother of our Imams. The names of there are few names for the mother of Imam Askari. It was very common in the culture, the Arab culture, that a person could have more than a name and titles. So the names for Imam Askari's mother, some of them, one of them is Susan, one of them is Haditha, one of them is Salil. These are the most famous ones that are known. And so I know on the sister side, I know we have Salil. Do we have Susan and do we have Haditha? Yes or no? No? Okay, let's just go inshallah. Sister Salil will come and cut the cake. Let's recite a salah for Sister Salil. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Thank you so much. One of the members who was also part of the food drive that they did. Inshallah soon you will see the video. Do we have Hassan? Yes, we have one. That's it? Sure, let's start with Brother Hassan. Let's recite a salah for our brother Hassan to come forward. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Jazakallah. Mubarak to you. And Brother Shafi, because again, not because of his brother, because he is one of the great volunteers. For Brother Shafi, salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Thank you. Because there are some beautiful name or other. Haji Yasin also, we don't have a birthday from Haji Yasin. Come for it. No, for you just. Recite a salah for Haji Yasin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. If we go based on the cousin, every one of you has to come here and cut the cake. Alhamdulillah. Ajiziyan ma iradat darim. All cut inshallah on behalf of all of the volunteers. Let's recite another salat for all the brothers and sisters who volunteer and help in the masjid. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Since Haji Farzad became a Haji, we didn't give him to cut the cake. For Haji Farzad also a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farj.
My name doesn't have any Hassan or none of Imam's names, so that doesn't mean that I don't get to.
Ahsan. You love them. That's what it matters. All it matters. Do you want to cut? Yeah. Okay, let's inshallah go to the next part. Recite another salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Okay, we're gonna get the video ready to be played on the screen, inshallah. Is it ready? Okay. Again, this is a short video that last Tuesday, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, our youth has coordinated this with the help of Sister Hashimi, Sister Sohail Khan, and all of our youths. They came to Masjid and made a brown bag lunch for the homeless and needy people. And this is what they did. For everybody who helped around this project, say aloud salawat, please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm sure you all remember that last month we continuously announced this brown bag lunch event. And alhamdulillah, from the basket being passed around every night, we were able to collect more than enough funds to make lunches consisting of PB&J sandwiches, bananas, nutrition bars, candy, and water. And thanks to your donations and the help of our youth of this masjid, we were able to make 240 bags of lunches. And yeah, I've created a video. So yeah.
To reiterate, our purpose for having this event is to involve
Okay, again, we thank everyone who was involved in this project, people who thought of it and they went with it, and everybody who donated towards this project by funding it with their donations. So basically, each single one of you guys, again, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you ajr and sawab in this dunya and akhirah, inshallah. خب بخش دوم برنامه امشب همونطوری که همه میفهمن شب ولادت است. با یک لطیفه خاتمه خواهیم داد. میگن یک خانم برای همسرش یک تکست فرستاد. حالا والنتاینز دی بود یا روز تولدش بود، حالا ما با او کار نداریم. نوشته بود که همسر برای شوهر خود: دوستت ندارم اندازه اقیانوس چون یک روز خشک میشه. دوستت ندارم اندازه خورشید چون یک روز خاموش میشه. دوستت ندارم اندازه دانه های باران چون زود قطع میشه. دوستت دارم اندازه رود که هیچ وقت کم نمیشه. خب our second session has finished at this point. Our regular announcement for tonight, please see Brother Zia Amili and check with him and make sure that you're up to date with your monthly pledges and donations. And God forbid, if you're behind, please try to catch up with those monthly donations. And if you can do a little more, it would be greatly appreciated. Our Taha Islamic School will be open tomorrow from 9:30 to 2 p.m. inshallah. Please make sure that you drop off your student timely. And this is for parents. Please make sure to check with your students to make sure that they've completed their homework. پدرها و مادرها لطفاً خواهشاً خانه رفتین با اولادها با شاگردایتان چک بکنن که کار خانگی یا تکالیفشان انجام داده باشن و برای فردا انشالله آماده باشن. Please make sure that your students have completed their homework and they're ready for tomorrow. And tomorrow when they come to school, please make sure that they have their backpack, their books and everything that they need for a school so they can come here. Our next week programs will be emailed to everyone on Tuesday morning or late Monday night, inshallah. So please check your email. Just in case if you are not part of the email distribution, you can go to our Facebook page or to Google our Masjid. All our weekly programs are posted on our website at masjidalrasool.com or our Facebook page at Masjid Rasool. So the Facebook page is Masjid Rasool, and you can Google Masjid al-Rasool, Simi Valley, and our masjid will come up, and you can check the weekly programs there as well. With that being said, please help us to keep our masjid clean as much as possible. And again, as a reminder, we are located in a residential area. When you're exiting tonight, please make sure that you keep noises down. Please don't bother. We don't want to bother our neighbors around us. We're here with them every night, so please make sure that in their own home, we don't want to bother them. Ajaga Modarres' speech, the title for his speech is Deviance and Faith. This is a topic that he started a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to elaborate on that tonight as well, inshallah. میریم و از محضر حجت الاسلام و المسلمین آقای مدرس استفاده میکنیم. صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you know, today we're celebrating the birth of our 11th Imam, Imam Askari, anniversary of his birth. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to know and learn from Imam Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam, to follow him as an example, and to follow the path of the teachings of his fathers all the way to our Prophet, and inshallah be people who appreciate the message of Islam and understand that how much sacrifice was made for us to receive this message, the message of Ahlul Bayt. Let's honor Imam Askari alayhi salam. We're remembering him and his fathers with the salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين الهداة المهديين. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن الكريم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Our 11th Imam was born in the city of Medina in a house of a father who is from a lineage and offspring of the Prophet. His father, Imam Ali al-Naqi al-Hadi, although he was known to be a man of knowledge and piety. And later on, like his father, he was forced to move from Medina to Samara. Samara is a city in a modern Iraq. And the reason this city is called Samara, there are different opinions, the roots of the word, where it comes from. One of them is that Sam was the son of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. The Prophet Nuh had different sons. One of them was Sam. And Samara, it was the path that he passed by, and this city was eventually, years later, was built. So the path of Samra, that's one possibility. There's others that say it was Shamra, which means it was a pathway from Iraq to Sham. And by the passage of time, from Shamra it becomes Samara. But again, this city was built by the Abbasi Caliph in order to work as an area to serve the army. So it was an army camp where the soldiers were able to be constantly ready in order to defend the Islamic territory or the governments at the time. And Imam Hadi and Imam Askari, both of them were forced to come and live in that army camp. And the title Askar refers to a soldier, an army camp, all come from Askar. If you're from an Dari background of Afghans, even today, they call soldiers Askar. It's a word that come from Arabic and it came to Farsi. So this Imam was born in a house that his mother, Susan, Salamullah alayha, as I said, she has other titles like Haditha and Salil as well. She is coming from an African descent. So, and I mentioned this, from our 6th Imam forward, all the way to Imam Mahdi, none of the mothers of the Imam were Arab. They were non-Arab. They were coming from Ajam. Ajam in Arabic, anyone who's not Arab refers to Ajam. Some of them, they were from North Africa. The mother of Imam Mahdi, one narration, one report says she is from Rome. So this is an important concept in the teaching of Ahlul Bayt, that they said racism is not acceptable in our religion. And what should matter more than anything else is taqwa and piety. And that's the way they decided and they chose their spouses. And even the mother of a next Imam, which is a very important responsibility, you need a fair combination. So if you look at those wives of the Imam, that they were dubious, they were ultimately, became the killers of the Imam. Like for example, Imam Hasan, our 2nd Imam's wife, she's the one who poisoned Imam Hasan. Or our 9th Imam, Imam Jawad, his wife, al-Fadl, she's the one who poisoned Imam Jawad. So you see, from those kind of wives, Imams didn't have any child. But people, pious women, regardless where they came from, maybe some of them were even brought into Arabian Peninsula, or they came to Iraq through slavery at the time. But piety mattered. Nothing else was a factor involved. So the topic of my lecture, the deviance in faith, one of the deviants in faith is when culture and religion, they are facing each other. There's cases that they have nothing to do with one another. Culture does its own thing. Like, for example, food, right? What kind of food you cook, how much spices you add or not. Cultures are different. Some cultures like spicy food, some cultures like oily food, some cultures, it has nothing to do with religion, as the culture has its own, space and does its own thing. But there are moments that culture and religion, they're clashing. And one of those things that is constantly we see it, which we can learn from the life of Imam Askari alayhi salam, is that racism, unfortunately, in some cultures is embedded within the culture, right? Within the culture, racism is acceptable. And even it's something that you should be proud of. We're not talking about, extreme nationalism and love of your hometown. No, we're talking about racism. That you love your race and you despise other races. This is something in some cultures that exist. No culture can claim, we're clear from that. And the teaching of Ahlul Bayt in action was to tackle and fight this deviance. Because when you look at beginning of Islam after the Prophet, it was a second-class citizen rank for people who are not Arab. So Muslim caliph that they're supposed to follow the teaching of the Prophet, they did their own thing. They said, okay, if you're Arab, you have this position. If you're not Arab, even if you're a Muslim, you have this position. So discrimination existed, unfortunately, within the Islamic system. So years later, from the Imam, as I mentioned, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, all of the Imam without exception, they unionized their marriage with a spouse who was pious but was not Arab. So it means our Imams, they were mixed. In a sense of, you look at the race, they were mixed race. And it was not a factor for imamate. It was not a reason, in order for Imam to be born, you need a pure race. We don't have any of that. And you will see in a lot of prophecies, the messed up prophecies, a pure blood, pure race is a big factor, not in Islam. In Islam, taqwa, piety, righteousness is the only factor that mattered. I say that to repeat, we like to be proud of our heritage. That's perfectly fine. Something is to be proud of, something is to be, in a state of arrogance and have prejudice against people who don't have the same heritage. And unfortunately, that exists in the culture. I'm from this city, I'm from this area, I'm from this tribe, and we are proud of it. And unfortunately, even till this day, I hear it usually over and over. I'm from this city, so I don't want to use any example in order to, avoid offending anyone. But you've heard it, I've heard it. Oh, Ajaga, you're talking to that person because he's not from where I am. He is from where you are. Even in an undertone of a joke, which is a joke, there is a seriousness, and we know it. We know it. Yeah, we don't mean it, but underlining that joke, the reason it's funny is because there's some truth to it. Right? Let's say somebody is, you're a grasshopper. It makes no sense. You cannot just say something that has no connection to someone. When you're saying, because you discriminated against me because of your city, it means it's something that people usually do. So deviance in our religion took place even till this day. Because when culture promotes and accepts prejudice and racism, and the mother of Imam Askari, mother of Imam Hadi, mother of Imam Zaman, all of them are proofs that our Imams rejected labeling people based on the race, viewing people only limited to where they came from. What they were looking for was their iman. What they were looking for was their virtue. That's what mattered to them. So if you want to learn from Imam Askari alayhi salam, that's lesson number one. To know what kind of family Imam Askari was born into. And then we look at the teaching of Imam Askari alayhi salam. One important teaching of Imam Askari is this hadith. Imam alayhi salam said, لَيْسَتِ الْعِبَادَةِ كَثْرَةُ الصَّلَاةِ وَالصَّوْمِ. If you find the meaning of worship, ibadat means worship, to obey God, servitude. If you're looking for the meaning of that, it's not about abundance. Kathrat means when you do something quite often, a lot of it. Abundance. It's not abundance of fasting and praying. That's not what the ibadat is about. What is ibadat? What is worship about? Kathrat tafakkur fi amrillah. The more you contemplate, the more you think about the works of God, how God's hand works in the world. You try to find the connections. You may say, but we worship Allah with praying and fasting. We're not talking about alternative. We're not saying from tomorrow don't pray anymore. From next Ramadan, God forbid, don't fast, because the hadith said worship is about contemplation. It's talking about if you want to truly take your worship to next level, praying more is the quantity that it will add on. The quality of your worship will not be increased with quantity. If you're looking for the quality of worship, you have to understand the reason behind the worship. What do we mean by that? To contemplate in the kathratu tafakkur fi amrillah, to contemplate in the work of God. Because sometimes we pray before God, but we don't understand how much Allah is involved in our lives. We don't see the presence of God. So when we pray, what happens? Distraction happens. When we pray, forgetfulness happens. When we pray, laziness takes over. But for someone who contemplates, like Imam Ali alayhi salam, that in the middle of the night his companion said, I saw him wandering, and he's looking at the stars, and all he's repeating is a verse of Quran. ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. Oh God, you did not create all this beauty. I look at the stars. You did not create this in vain. They're not pointless. There is a purpose. Glory to you. So from the stars, Imam Ali alayhi salam is talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the way you contemplate in the work of God. A believer can look at the camel, Quran says. Look at a camel, an organism, and you can find God and beauty of God in the creation. If you're looking for God, you're in search of God, you will find it. If you're looking for a person and you think that's the God, you will never find him. But if you're looking for God, that everything in existence. So sometimes that's the reason I said we raise our head toward the sky to pray. That's a habit. But in reality, Quran says if you look above, if you look your below, your right, your left, anywhere, Allah has surrounded you. There is no reason for you to scream. You can whisper and He will hear you. The reason sometimes says say it out loud is to bring yourself to awareness, not for Allah to hear you. Allah will hear you. That's why in Zuhr and Asr prayer, we recite quietly. In Maghrib and morning and Isha, we recite it out loud. We do it both ways. This alteration has come from us. We alternate in order to bring our awareness. And so many other benefits only Allah knows. It's not because Allah will hear us if we say it out loud. So deviance took place when people limited themselves just to the surface. We pray and pray and pray, but just sometimes we need to think, who are we praying to? What are we praying? Why? That's the purpose of the prayers. And then if you want an example of contemplation, recite some of the du'as that we have. Dua Kumail, this is Imam Ali contemplating about God. That what kind of God do I believe in? He contemplated about himself and his own shortcoming as a human being. That's contemplation. Same thing when we talk about Dua Arafah of Imam Hussein. Please read the translation of it. For your own sake, read it, not for me. Dua Arafah of Imam Hussein, just read about it. It is a contemplation of Imam Hussein alayhi salam about just the body. There are so many phrases in this dua just talking about the heart, about the liver, about just the different layers of our body. That's it. Because what happened when we are awake, we don't think about our heart beating, do we? Do we think about the liver working and doing its job? Do we think about our saliva? Do we think about our eyes? Do we think about the benefit of tears? We don't think about any of that. We're just doing our own thing. And Imam Askari says sometimes in addition to the worship, instead of adding more and more in numbers of your prayers, think about the one you're praying to. Contemplate in his work. You cannot contemplate in the essence of God. You know that, right? We cannot contemplate what God is. Because I'm a creation, I'm limited. I cannot think, I cannot fathom an infinite and unlimited being. I cannot fathom. It's like if you try to put the entire ocean in a cup, you will fail, right? So it's not permissible, or in another word, you will fail if you try to think about the essence of God. But you can talk about and you can think about the work of God, what He created. We can talk about the effect, impact, result of the work of God. That's the teaching of Imam Askari alayhi salam. That's number 2. Deviance happened in a matter of culture and racism, and the solution was offered by Ahlul Bayt. If you look at them as an examples, they are imam, means they're leading, we should follow. Second, and to answer that, I'm asking you, Imam Askari salam, which he married Hazrat Susan, his wife, that which become the mother of Imam Askari, Hadith Salil Susan, one person, different names. Was she a Sayyid or not? She was Sayyid or not? I just mentioned where she was from. She couldn't be from from Arabia. So people say, oh, my daughter only has to marry Sayyid. Sayyid has to marry Sayyid. I said, mashallah, your standards are above the standards of the Imam. Good for you. Who are you following? Good for you. Or I should not marry a Sayyid. Only a Sayyid has to, and if it's from both sides, there are the Sayyid who don't want to marry, which is their choice, by the way. We're not forcing anyone that they have to, but I'm saying, who are we following? Let's say this is my preference. If it's your preference, I 100% respect it. It's your preference. You have a decision to make. It's your choice. As long as you don't say Allah said it, or Islam says it, or this is the way it should be, you just say it's my preference, we should respect it. It's their preference. It's not, we cannot force somebody to choose someone they don't want to. So that's the one deviance, and this still happens until this day. Second one, as I said, is the way of worship, that people focus on quantity. When Imam Askari said, in addition to praying, you have to contemplate. Don't just think about, okay, today I have to do 200 rakat. I have to recite 200 verse. In addition to reading some verse, contemplate. Who are you praying to? What are you reading? What's the beauty of God in my surrounding? And I give you example. Quran says, look at everything. فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ. Quran said, look at your food when you eat it. I'm a culprit in that crime. How many of us, we look at our food anymore? Thanks to our cell phones. I'm a culprit of that. I'm personally, it's not I don't do it. It happens to me sometimes. The other day I went to get a haircut, and there were probably 20 people in this barbershop. I just look at how evolution of human behavior because of social media. Out of these 20 people, the person who was fixing my hair, and we were the only two that were talking, because again, he doesn't have another option right now until the Google Glass, probably some prototype come out that he can do things and watch something at the same time. He was doing his job, and I was sitting, and I was just looking around. Again, roughly around 17, 18 people in this barbershop. Not one of them, their head was to look around. All of them was on their phone. All of them. It's not to judge or anything. I said, what happened to us? We used to talk to each other. We used to talk to each other. But right now, everybody sits down. This is our position. And even when we eat, that's our position. And Quran says, فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ. When you eat, look, observe your food, what you eat. To be grateful, to have a peace of mind. And Imam Sadiq said, this has another deeper meaning, which food is not just food of the body. Look at the food of the body, also look for the food of the soul. It means look at what you're letting yourself to be exposed to, what you hear, what you watch. You have to also look at them. That's the deviance that took place, lack of reflection and contemplation. The third one, again, is the teaching of Imam Askari alayhi salam, is that Imam said, if you want to know two characters, that there is no character above them. خَصْلَتَانْ لَيْسَ فَوْقَهُمَا شَيْءٌ. There are two khaslat, two characteristics, that there is no other quality above them. One of them is al-imanu billah, is to find God, is your journey to find and connect with your source, with your creator. Your effect, find your cause. That's the quality, nothing can replace it. The second one, so number one is faith in God, connect with God. Number two is to benefit others. You know, we have so many good. There are good qualities, there are good characteristics, like praying, fasting, studying and reading and gaining knowledge. All these are great things. We're not trying to diminish the value of these things. But Imam Askari said, you know something that is above of all these is to find your connection with Allah. And number two, وَالنَّفْعُ الْإِخْوَانِ, is to benefit your brothers. Is to help them. You know, there is a very known riwayah, there's a very pious scholar known as Ali ibn Mahziyar. Ali ibn Mahziyar is someone who, for years, he was, going to pilgrimage, to Hajj, to meet Imam Mahdi. This happened in occultation time. And for years, he was going to Hajj and failing. Finally, 1 year, he met Imam Mahdi. And there was a conversation between them in Hajj. There's a very well-known, reliable, all the scholars of Shia narrated it, Ali ibn Mahziyar and his interaction with Imam Mahdi. So in Hajj, the first thing Imam Mahdi told him is that, where have you been? Well, I've been waiting for you for a long time. The exact word of Imam Mahdi is that I was waiting for you day and night. And of course, his answer was, I've been looking for you. What do you mean I wasn't? I've been coming every year. And Imam said, I was here every year, but unfortunately your actions was the reason that created a barrier between you and me. That was the reason I wasn't able to meet you. And then you know what the barrier Imam Zaman told him? What were the barriers? He said three things. So number one is that all your efforts is to just add to your wealth. That's all you do. Your all ultimate efforts is to have more wealth. Not as a mean, not as a tool, just to have it. You're not even thinking about what you're going to do. I ask people, what do you want to do? I want to be a millionaire. What are you going to do with when you be I will figure out later. Just, I want to be a millionaire first. We don't even know what we want to do with the money. So Imam said that's number one. Number two, because all your efforts is for the money, what happens is that you neglect your family. Qat'ur rahim. You cut off from your relatives. You don't even know your brothers. You don't even talk to your cousins. You don't even know your uncles. You cut off from them because all your efforts is for dunya. That's why you cannot meet me. Qat'ur rahim. Third one, Imam said, is because there are misfortunate people among you that you do nothing for them. You walk past them without caring. how can you come and see me? The reason you were able to see me because for the last year you fixed these 3 mistakes. Ali ibn Mahziyar. You have somebody came to Imam Muhammad al-Baqir and asked him, why you're not rising against the Abbasi Caliph? You know, I have people waiting for me. And a lot of people came to our Imams and asked them the same thing. Asked them the same thing. So he said, you know, we're ready. All we need is your command. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir asked him. So he said, okay, you're ready. So when we say you're ready means for the cause, you're ready to give all you have, right? So are we ready to rise? And a revolution needs people to be ready. You cannot, you have to count on them. That's the way a revolution works. So Imam said, okay, you ready for a revolution? Imam said, tell me, did you reach a status, a level, that if one of you go and pick something from somebody else's pocket, please listen to tradition. Said, imagine your brother in faith, this all of you as a community that you want to support this cause. Did you reach this level that if one of you come to you and you're not available, but you have your jacket, you have your drawer, you have your store open, and your brother in faith comes and picks something that they need? So let's say I came to you to ask for money. You're not there, but you know, we have that kind of trust. We have that kind of trustworthiness and being reliable that I'm able to go and pick something without your permission. And later I tell you and you tell me you did a good thing. Of course, you should have done it. Did you reach that level that when it comes to your wealth, you have that freedom to share? That you're ready to sacrifice a bit for your brother? And he said, please stop. No, we're not ready. We're not like that. Imam said, you're not, and this is the state of Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, said, you're stingy with your money. How you will be generous with your life? How? You cannot, ignore the few dirham and dinar. You cannot ignore that. How can you say, oh, I'm ready to give my life? So you're not ready for revolution. Go. If you're awaiting the Imam Mahdi, we should not forget, there are 2 types of waiting. Sometimes awaiting is like somebody who's an astronomer. You're just waiting for the moon, to come, and at the end of the month, you're just observing. But sometimes you're waiting somebody who's drowning, right? You're waiting for Coast Guard to come and save you, right? There are 2 types of waiting. When you say we're waiting for the Imam Mahdi, we're not waiting like somebody who's just waiting for the week to be over and the month come, or for the certain location of the start to happen. Imam Mahdi's coming is not supposed to be like that for us to be an observant, for me to be an observant. We're drowning. Look at the disparities in income. Again, according to Forbes and according to all the news outlets out there, we're right now in the human history, we have the most amount of billionaires that we ever had in history. Billionaires. 30 years ago, there was not that many. You could easily name them. But right now, they're getting more and more. And at the same time, the number of poor people is not getting better. Access to clean water is not that better. We create more billionaires, but the justice in an economical system is not getting better anyway. So that's something you read about it. So we're drowning in injustice, in discrimination, unfair treatment. So we're waiting for a Coast Guard. But if you are, let's say, if you're in water, what should you do? What should you do? Struggle. Try to stay above the water. You can't say, I'm just waiting for the Coast Guard. You're going to drown. So the coming of Mahdi is that this waiting is until the Coast Guard come, but we have to struggle. That when the actual moment of being saved is there, we'll be able to save. It's not too late for us. This is the deviance, the waiting, which unfortunately is we are misinformed. To wait and do nothing. To wait and do nothing. And Imam Askari said, if you're looking for a character that there's no other quality above it is to benefit others. And it's a hard thing to think about, especially when all you think about, again, from a young age, please do not put so much pressure on your children. به فارسی میگم خیلی وقتا بیش از اندازه روی اولادا شما فشار میارین که به فکر کار باش، به فکر پیسه باش، به فکر پول باش. از سن خیلی کم اینها رو شما نگران دنیا میکنید. کارشه که درسش رو بخواند، بگذارید درسش رو بخواند. بعد همین میشه وقتی بچه درس رو ول میکنن میرن یک شغل کم درآمد رو میرن، ما میگیم نه بیا برو درس تو بخوان. خب تو از روز تو داشتی جی خودت میگیری تو کار کنه. حالا هم که میره کار میکنه میگه نه این کار نه کار دیگر. بدانیم که برای چی داریم اصرار میکنیم. So inshallah it's enough for today. In summary, these are some of the grievances that Imam Askari in his life addressed the ummah, addressed us. And hopefully inshallah if you pay attention we can remember. Culture and racism, Imam battled with his action, with his decisions. Not to just say, oh, don't be racist. He himself, the way he made decisions in life showed that he was somebody who did not care for race. Our actions are the loudest statement we can make. Right? We can talk about, I'm not racist, and that's a statement of every racist person, right? I'm not racist. The first thing they say is that I'm not racist. Your actions is the loudest statement of who we are. May Allah inshallah give us the tawfiq to learn from the teachings of the Quran, teaching of our religion, to live by those teachings, to follow the teaching of Imam Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam, and to understand how much sacrifice they made. You know, when Imam Hasan al-Askari was poisoned, he was 28 years old. He only led the ummah and the community just for 6 years. That's it. His imamate length is 6 years. They didn't even let him to lead people. So they made a sacrifice. And for us to celebrate them, to honor them, is for us to understand how much sacrifice was made for us to receive this message. To understand, no Abbasi caliph liked this hadith, to not pray too much but contemplate in the work of God. They preferred blind worshippers. Go do your worship, let me oppress people, do your own thing. As we can see today, a lot of Muslim countries with dictators, they prefer people to do their worship and just let them do their own thing. Don't involve yourself with what we do. But our imams, their main responsibility was to enlighten people, to open their eyes to see the truth and haqq. Even if it's bitter for the oppressors, if it was unacceptable for the caliphs, they made sure people see the truth and reality as it was. May Allah inshallah help us to do the truth of our time, to inshallah take responsibility for what we can do and take part, to be part of the solution and not part of the problem, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, listen, inshallah, we finish with a quick game, but this time I'm going to make it under 20 because I promised last time I make it for a certain age range. So we do for under 20 years old, inshallah. Let's get ready with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Okay. Let's inshallah start with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Sharif, can you see if they're out there? Ask them to come in, if they are out. Fast, I'm waiting. Okay, so we're going to Mentimeter. So you can go to menti.com or Mentimeter, and I give you the room to go to. It's not Kahoot. The only reason I don't do Kahoot anymore because it failed a few times, and by the last question, somebody or some cause made us to reset the whole thing. So this is more reliable, this platform. Okay. Okay, so this is the room. $95.10.25. Menti.com. It's not Kahoot. It's Menti.com. We used that last time. So inshallah, all the brothers under 20 and under. Let's go 20 and under. Menti.com, 95.10.25. Okay, people are joining. Should I wait or you're done? Okay. Am I waiting for anyone? Okay, again, name, please understand. Okay. Let's inshallah start. No, so I didn't go to next. So as long as you're logged in, I'm going to next. So when I go to next question, you'll be able to answer. Everybody's in? Okay. So let's start with this one. What are the titles of Imam Hasan al-Askari? This one you have to type. What are the titles of Imam Hasan al-Askari? This one, by the way, I did not give you any point on this one. This is just testing your knowledge. MashaAllah. One of them is... Okay, so Askari is a title. Jawad, no, it's not, is our 9th Imam. Hassan is the name. Zaki is Zaki, which means purified. It is. Rida is our 8th Imam. Abba Muhammad is kunya, is not title. Okay, I just see 2 correct here. Askari and Zaki. I give you a hint. One of the titles is a very obvious one that all of the Ahlul Bayt had it, which related to knowledge. Alim. Another one is that our 9th Imam's title too. In addition to Jawad, what's the other title? Other title of our 9th Imam. Imam Jawad also. Taqi is also title of our 11th Imam. Taqi, Alim, Hadi also is the title of our 11th Imam, as well as Imam Hadi, our 10th and also 11th. Okay, let's go to the game. Ready? This is the actual part with the questions. Let's go. Thank you for sharing. Let's go. So join everybody, let's see. We have 21 people, 22 people. Okay, 25, 24. Everybody's in? Okay, I'm waiting. Salam, salam. Okay, I'm going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, please, let's do silence. Question number 1. What is the name of mother of Imam Hasan al-Askari? Amina, Shahrbanu, Susan, Nargis. Please answer quietly. Which one is the Imam Askari's mother name? The right answer, of course, is Susan. This was mentioned in my speech, right? Also, what are the other name? Salil, what else? Muhadditha. So, Nargis is Imam Mahdi's mother, Shahrbanu is Imam Zainul Abidin's mother, Amina is Prophet Muhammad's mother. Okay, let's see the board. Salil, Sahil, Nazanin. Okay, you're on the right track. Let's go next question. Question number 2. How many bones adult human bodies have? Okay, how many bones adult human body has? 106, 206, 306, 406. And if it's incorrect, please correct it. The right answer is 206. According to one of the EDU website that I checked, I tried to stay away from Wikipedia. 270 is they said the babies have, but as bones fuse together, by the time you're adult, you're 206. I don't know. Again, there could be a different. But again, I look at the gap I put. So if it's 205 or 2010 or 210, I put 100 so that you don't have any excuse to say that's not right. Okay. Ranking. Still the same, mostly. Okay. Oh, change. Michelle, Salil, Zahra. Let's go. The top 3 will win, by the way, tonight. Top 3. What's the meaning of Askari? I mentioned this, so you should know. Market, mountain, truthful army camp. Thank you for over 20 for answering, but let them answer themselves. See, mountain. People said 4 people, mountain. Truthful, sadiq, okay. Also, it means soldier as well. Yes. Yes. It is probably the non-Farsi speaking put the wrong answer. Let's see. Okay. Let's go. Which organelle's job in the human body is to convert energy? Nucleus, DNA, plasma membrane, mitochondria. These are middle school question. They're not that difficult. If you're in middle school, you should know this. Gotcha. Right answer is mitochondria. Its job is to convert energy. It works independently from DNA. Let's go to the ranking. Let's see. I think it will most probably stays the same. Okay. Let's go to next question. Which statement is not correct? Read it. Is not correct. Birth of Imam Mahdi was hidden. People had easy access to Imam Askari. Representative of Imam Askari were pious and knowledgeable. Imam Askari's father is Imam Hadi. So 3 of them are correct. 1 of them is incorrect. Which was people had easy access to Imam Askari. How we know that's the wrong answer? Because I just mentioned an army camp. He was forced to brought from Medina to Samara for that reason. That's why. Okay. Oh, there's going to be some changes. Some changes. Oh, okay. Aura, Michelle, Zahra. Let's see. Shakil is coming, mashallah. You're coming on the board. Okay. How long was the length of Imam Hasan al-Askari's imamat? For how long he was imam? For how long he was imam? Is it 6 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years? Again, it was mentioned, it is 6 years. I mentioned it in the end of my speech to know how short Imam lived and how short he lived. How old he was when he was martyred? 28. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, good. Which planet is the largest planet in our solar system? You should know that. Is it Mars, Earth, Jupiter, Sun? Please be louder, please. Louder, louder, mashallah, everyone. Sun is a star. Sun is a star. Thank you. Jupiter is the biggest one. Okay, listen. One thing you should know, there are hundreds of verses in Quran about above, which means the skies, stars, heavens. These words all refers, and it's an encouragement, as I mentioned, Imam Ali, to look at the stars, and itself looking at the stars considered an act of worship. So that's why it's important to know a bit about astronomy, a bit, not too much. Okay, let's see. Okay. Good. Let's go. Where Imam Hasan al-Askari is buried? Which city he's buried? You should know. People who came to ziyarah, they should know. Is Imam Askari buried in Medina, Mecca, Najaf, Samara? The right answer is Samara. I talked about the meaning of the Samara and the possibilities too. Let's go. Let's see. Okay. Next question. I don't know. Which surah is 1/12 of the Quran, of Holy Quran? 1/12. It's very obvious. If you know the surahs, you know which one. Al-Ham is 1/12 of Quran. Surah Baqarah. 1/12 in its side. Okay, listen, please. Quran has 30 juz. 2.5 juz is only Surah Baqarah. So it's 1/12 of Quran Surah. I put Surah Ham, which is literally less than a page. I put Surah Falaq, which again is 1/4 of a page. And I put Surah Shams, which is only a page. I didn't even put Surah A'raf and An'am and actually that confuse you. I gave you a very clear answer. Surah Baqarah, which we recited tonight, the beginning of it. Okay? Let's see. Jawad is coming. Good. Okay. Who's Nicholas? You are? Thank you. Let's go. According to Imam Hasan al-Askari, ibadat, worship, is abundance of what? What is the worship? Is abundance a lot of what? Is it a lot of prayer, a lot of contemplation, a lot of hajj, a lot of fasting? It was in my speech. Who? 10 people still put salat. Thank you for not listening to the lecture. I appreciate it. It's contemplation. Literally in the list of Imam Askari was, ibadat is not abundance of fasting and prayers. Okay? Mishal Zahra Haura. Let's go. We're almost, I think, one or two. What question? I don't know the number, so we'll see. Which surah is known as the heart of Quran? You should know this. Heart of Quran. Which surah is heart, qalb, or heart of Quran? It's a very famous surah as heart of Quran. And the answer is Yasin. Yasin. Okay? Let's go in the ranking C. Okay, still the same. Imam Askari, nothing is above two characters, believing in God and which one? Quran recitation, asking questions, benefiting others, patience. This was also in the speech. It's a famous hadith of Imam Askari. It's benefiting others. It was literally, I give examples on it. Okay. Now we know how much. And I think we're almost, or we're done, I think. Okay, we have 3 sisters, the winners. Yeah, the top 3 are the sisters. The top 3 are sisters. No, that means there are no brothers in the winners. Girls. There are 3 girls who won. So I'm asking, let's see, from the teachers, if we can have Sister Furuzan, if I can ask you to come forward, please. Sister. Let's see. Sister Dani also, if you come forward. 2 of the teachers. Okay. Recite a salawat for our teachers of Saturday school. Okay, so in first place, I assume is Jafar, right? Hafiz? Okay, where is? Okay. So in first place, we have Mishal, Sister Mishal Hafiz. Let's recite a salawat for Sister Mishal first. A round of applause for Sister Mishal. In the second place, we have Sister Zahra al-Amara. Let's recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. Give applause for Sister Zahra. And last but not least, this looks a lot suspicious. You 3 are sitting next to each other. Okay. For the third place, we have Sister Fizza Hafiz. Let's recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. A round of applause for Sister Fizza. And round of applause for our teachers, inshallah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for participation. One thing again, and if you give you 1 more minute and then we do ziyarah, we finish. For those who are participating under 20, the 20 and under. So adults in this one, please, your opinion, inshallah, we will take it later on. But for your 20 and under, who thinks that general knowledge questions, the question are not related to the speech? Let me ask the question, then So who thinks that general knowledge questions, it's better to be removed, just ask the question on the minbar or the topic of the night? I use the general knowledge in order to just make it, give you some additional information, which I don't like to say Islamic knowledge and non-Islamic knowledge, because as I mentioned, when you talk about human anatomy, when you talk about stars, when you talk about all these other things, they are creation of Allah. So when you learn about them, as Quran mentioned, you're learning something in the way of Allah. So I personally don't think they're non-Islamic. But general knowledge question, do you think it's not a good idea? Raise your hand. General knowledge question in the quiz is not a good idea? Raise your hand. Those of you think it's a good idea, raise your hand. Okay, so that we will keep it. We will keep it, inshallah. Okay? Inshallah, we will have a... Now, Agha Jamal, sorry, you had something to say. Say it. Say it, it's okay. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Let's inshallah finish with ziyarah. Everybody stand up. وعجل اللهم في فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا نبي الله. يا خير خلق الله يا خاتم النبيين. السلام عليك يا مولاتنا يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. When we do ziyarah, inshallah, quiet everybody. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين ويا إمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب. السلام عليكما أيها الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. السلام عليك يا علي بن الحسين زين العابدين. السلام على محمد بن علي باقر علم النبيين. السلام على جعفر بن محمد الصادق. السلام على موسى بن جعفر الكاظم. السلام على علي بن موسى الرضا. السلام على محمد بن علي التقي الجواد. السلام على علي بن محمد الهادي النقي. السلام على حسن بن علي العسكري الزكي. السلام عليك يا صاحب الزمان يا خليفة الرحمن يا إمام الإنس والجان. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. صدق الله العلي العظيم. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات ولشفاء مرضانا رحم الله لمن قرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات.